Hey guys, it's TBGP, and today we are back with another Sims related video. So on one bored night, I was replacing all my Sims from Sunset Valley and just thought, how many black Sims are in Sunset Valley? And that led me down a interesting rabbit hole, to say the least. So the rabbit hole I went down was how many black Sims are in each Sims game. You know, from the Sims 1 to the Sims 4, how many are in these games, like in the base game that have a story and they have some sort of relevance through the main line, whatever's going on in each Sims game. That is what we're going to discover today. Just know, you'll be kind of surprised. I know I was. So this is how I'm going to break it down. It's only going to be from the base game. Like when you buy the Sims 1, Neighborhood 1, Sims 2, Veronaville, Strangetown, Pleasant View, main ones, Sunset Valley, and then Oasis Springs and Willow Creek from the Sims 4. That's how it goes. I'm going to count Sims who are in the bin since they actually they're made by and written by Maxis in the Sims team. And I guess for the Sims 4 gallery, because that technically counts, but I'm only counting the ones that were released with the actual, like, base game, okay? That's how we're gonna go. That's how we're gonna break it down. No NPCs if they don't have a bio or some sort of semblance of that. I'm not gonna count them, even though I would love to count my girl Sunny Bakshi or whatever her name is, but I can't because she's an NPC/homeless Sim. Those do not count. So let's start with the Sims 1, of course. Sims 1 and Neighborhood 1, we have Melissa Rumi. Melissa Rumi and her roommate Chris are new to the neighborhood. Can you help them make friends? And, well, her roommate's name is Chris, but she doesn't count in this category. But Melissa Rumi, she doesn't have an actual last name because for some reason, I don't know what's happening there. She just doesn't have a last name. And we're finished with the Sims 1. There's only one black Sim in the Sims 1, which I find a little bit wild. But there's not many Sims in the Sims 1 in general, so you know, there's that. But Melissa Rumi is the only Sim in Neighborhood 1 of the Sims 1. Moving on to the Sims 2, we're gonna list off the black Sims from Pleasant View first. First of all, we have Darren Dreamer. Darren has missed his wife ever since her death. Will he ever get another chance at love? In my game, he did, and it's with Miss Brandy Broke. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Anyway, Darren Dreamer, he's the first one, and the next one, second on our list, is Mr. Dirk Dreamer. Though it's been hard without his mother, Dirk has made every effort to do well in all areas of his life. I love Dirk. Dirk is great. Dirk and Dustin being brothers is the most hilarious and honestly best thing ever. Just saying. Best thing. And with that, we are finished with Pleasant View. There are only 2 black Sims in the entirety of Pleasant View. In Strangetown, we have Olive Spectre. Olive will stop at nothing to get what she wants. She spends her time collecting mushrooms, sharpening sticks, and excavating her yard. That's a strange way of saying burying dead bodies, but okay. Olive Spectre, honestly, icon, but moving on to the next Sim, which is actually her niece, Ophelia
Nigmos.
Ophelia's hobbies include hypochondria and monitoring the air quality. She worries about the future, the past, and the present. Love her. Good for Ophelia. Actually, I guess not really, because poor girl. But Ophelia is our next Sim, making that a finished category for a Strangetown black Sims. There are only 2. And it's, once again, in theme with Pleasant View, only 2, which is aunt and niece, and in Pleasant View, there is father and son. Moving on to Veronaville, we have Oberon Summer Dream. He's a wild Sim, by the way. I don't even know what else to say. I think he's a fair... Veronaville is so weird. But trying to master the art of home video editing, Oberon has been neglecting his lovely longtime companion Titania. Is it too late for him to recapture their love? Obviously, he's romantically involved with Miss Titania Summer Dream, or whatever is going on with their relationship. And with him done, we move on to the next Sim, which is Bottom Summer Dream. They named this kid Bottom, and it genuinely just makes me so mad on so many levels. Bottom sometimes gets herself into trouble attempting to get attention from her parents and big brother. Will she grow up to be more respectful and responsible? And that would finish us up for Veronaville. So that is a total of 6 Sims in the entirety of the base game of Pleasant View. A major upgrade from whatever was going on in The Sims 1. Moving on from The Sims 2, we are going into The Sims 3 Sunset Valley. I'm only doing Sunset Valley, which includes bin Sims as well as base game, actual normal Sims. Let's start strong with Bo Andrews. Bo's dashed hopes and dreams of becoming a professional athlete manifest themselves in a slovenly appearance and general bitterness, but he does love his wife with all his heart. Speaking of wife, next on our list is Victoria Andrews. When Bo's dream of becoming a professional athlete was not realized, Victoria knew that she would have to change her priorities if she wanted to be with this wonderful Sim. And so she did. She studied art and writing and dreamt of the day that she could use her creativity to support her husband in the way that he deserves. Yeah, that's a little bit questionable. But Victoria Andrews, those are our first 2 Sims, Sim 1 and 2. And next we have Marty Keaton, an all-around good guy. Marty's one drawback is that he's somewhat neurotic. He doesn't think it interferes with his life too much, though. So how would having a baby in the house be any different? And speaking of baby, the one who's pregnant with his baby is the next Sim on our list, Miss Justine Keaton. Top-notch policewoman Justine has to control her hot-headedness at work. Will becoming a mother help her have more patience? That's questionable. Here we go. Next Sim, Erin Kennedy. Erin Kennedy is a long-term military career woman who has recently transferred to town. Making friends has always been difficult for her. She worries that things might be the same in town. Will her fears come true? Will they? Don't know, but she's number 5 on our list. Next, we have Miss Monica Morse. I love her for some reason. She's a down-to-earth, rich girl, even though she has no money. She is actually a Sim that I really like, and I kind of, sort of, really actually ship her with the late Sekimoto. I don't know why, I just do. Next, we have Dory Hart. Dory doesn't seem to have goals. Her clothes don't match, and she seems to prefer odd hairstyles. She's friendly, enjoys company, but isn't on the same page as everyone else. Some suspect she may have some mental issues. Poor Dory Hart. Then we have Babe Hart. Babe Hart has a hard time as the only responsible person in the entire Hart lineage. It's no secret in the neighborhood that both their parents are slightly insane. So Babe feels that the neighbor's eyes have been scrutinizing her for ages, just waiting to see if she'll crack too. That is so mean. They did this young girl so dirty. Next we have, I'll just list all 3 of them because they don't have descriptions, but they do have a family description. So we have the Bakers, which is Heathcliff Baker, Becky Baker, and Topher Baker. His wife does not count in what I'm talking about, but those are our 3 new Black Sims to add. Their description is Sylvana and Heathcliff love their daughter Becky, so of course they took her in when she and her son Topher needed a place to stay, but will they be able to enjoy their retirement with a noisy toddler in the house? They're a absolutely underrated family in The Sims because nobody cares about them. They are a bin family, so they're just not here, which is quite sad actually. Then we have Miss Jennifer Martinez. She also doesn't have a description, but their description for her and her husband is lovebirds. Pablo and Jennifer Martinez are outdoorsy folk looking to explore nature. Will they thrive in a new town, or will the suburban lifestyle eventually drive them to tears? That's just funny. I don't know why they're gonna be driven to tears. First, I'd like to express that apparently they're in The Sims 4, which is weird to me, but they whitewashed her anyway. Next, we have the last family on this list, the Williams family. All 3 of them count in my category. We got Marley, Amelie, and Melchiah. I am so sorry, I'm bad with names. Melchiah. Emily Williams is a marvel in the kitchen, but her husband Marley is a bit of a dreamer. Will he be able to support the 2 of them in little Melchiah, or will Amelie have to use her skills to earn some dough? Probably. And that there adds up our list of Black Sims in Sunset Valley. Let me just say this list is way longer than I even expected it to be, because I didn't know how many freaking Sims were in the bin, okay? And actually, our total is so far the highest total of 15 Black Sims in Sunset Valley. Well, but that is 15 out of like 80 if you count the bin sims. So, that's a lot. And that's also not including NPCs. These are all the ones that have descriptions and, were actually personally made to be like, have a story within the game. With that much said, let's move on to The Sims 4. All right, first off, we have the Purdue family. This household is just bursting with creativity. Don't keep these two behind closed doors, or they might just accidentally paint over them. And how will they find their way out? I feel like that description weird's extremely strange, but these are actually two cover art Sims. It's the red-haired lady, I'll put pictures of those on screen, and her brother. So we have Cassidy Purdue and Ollie Purdue. They're our first two Sims from the bin, gallery, because the bin doesn't exist. That's not a thing in there. They have the gallery instead. I'm counting them in Willow Creek because I don't know, that's like the first place that everybody chooses. So yeah, they're in Willow Creek. Next, we have Bob Pancakes. They don't have separate descriptions in The Sims 4, so I'm just gonna read like their household description. Poor Bob and Eliza. Have they ever been happy? It seems there's nothing one can do to please the other. Just what is keeping this couple together? Or conversely, what is the spark that will finally drive them apart? These freaking sitcom couple. But yeah, we have Bob Pancakes, and let's move on to this Kim, Spencer, Lewis family, as they have 3 of the Black Sims from The Sims 4 in here. We have Eric Lewis, Olivia Kim Lewis, and Vivian Lewis. These are our 3 Sims for other 3 Sims from Willow Creek. Their description reads, okay, here's the breakdown. Dennis Kim and Linda Spencer had a daughter named Alice Spencer Kim, then divorced. Alice married Eric Lewis and had her own little girl, Olivia Kim Lewis. They live with Alice's dad, Dennis. Remember, and Eric's mom, Vivian Lewis. Hey, no one ever said family was easy. I feel like this is so easy to understand. Why are they doing this? Why did they make this description this? Anyway, that's the finish of our Sims from Willow Creek. Next, we have Gavin Richards from Oasis Springs. Okay, this house seems to have stepped right out of a TV sitcom. What a wacky misadventures will the perky Zoe, easygoing Michael, uptight ladies man Jay, and intellectual Gavin suffer this week. Tune in and find out. I believe they're based off of some TV show. I think it was New Girl or something like that. I think that's what I heard. Don't believe me if I might not know Jack the Squad. But we have Gavin Richards, and that's the last Sim in Oasis Spring, giving the Sims 4 Black Sim total 7. There's only 7. All right, now let's go on our total. Let's go from least to most. We're gonna have The Sims 1 at the absolute least. I will say her name because she deserves to be remembered. Melissa Roomies. Rest in peace. Rest in pickles, because dang, they forgot about you. Then we have The Sims 3, all 3 worlds combined. We have 6 Black Sims in the entirety of The Sims 2, from Pleasant View all the way to Veronaville. Then we have The Sims 4 with 7, which is quite questionable, since The Sims 4 prides itself on like diversity and all that kind of stuff, but in the base game y'all only have 7. I see how it is. Anyway, then we have The Sims 3 Sunset Valley with the absolute most of 15 and possibly more. Obviously, I'm not counting NPCs. I'm only counting bin sims and story-driven sims, but this is like our counter right here. And of course, I'm gonna have a separate section to talk about something for a second, because this is something I found during my research that I simply cannot handle. So I'm gonna sit here and discuss my findings about Bella Goth. I feel like Bella Goth is just ambiguously tan/dark skin. We don't really know what Bella Goth actually is, and I'm here to break it down for you from my knowledge of looking through their family trees. Bella Goth's father is Simus Bachelor, which apparently sounds like Sim is Bachelor, blah, blah, blah. That's real funny, isn't it? And he married Jocasta Bachelor. We're gonna finish off Jocasta Bachelor first, as she doesn't have a long family tree. The name Jocasta is apparently Greek. That's at least what Google is telling me. So it makes me assume that Jocasta Bachelor is dark-skinned Greek Mediterranean. Because in The Sims 3, she had, they say it's tan, or at least that's the category it is, but she has decently dark skin in The Sims 2 and in The Sims 3, so I'm gonna consider her some sort of dark-skinned Greek Mediterranean, and that's what Jocasta is. Okay, let's cut her off the list. Then we have Simus. Simus is the one that I have to talk about, because I had to think this through, because, you know, I'm just that kind of person. Okay, alright. We have Simus. And in The Sims 3, he has dyed hair, and I just have to mention that because I think it's so funny. His hair is like light brown. Or red, and I just think he has dark. I just think he dyed his hair. He wanted to look younger, okay? He wanted to look younger. Anyway, more importantly, his parents' names are Enriqueta and Milton Bachelor. Milton is a very generic name, and apparently the name Bachelor is of some sort of British English descent, so I'm just gonna say British. Anywhere over in the British areas. And Milton is just a name. I don't know. It's ugly though, I'm not gonna lie. Then we have Enriqueta, which is interesting. Enriqueta is apparently of some sort of Hispanic heritage, and she has decently dark skin, which I guess that's why Simus would also have dark skin. But Mr. Milton also has dark skin, making me personally think that Milton is probably black. That's just my opinion, making Simus Afro-Latino. In my personal opinion, that's what I think Simus is. If anyone wants to argue with me, I do not care. That is what I personally think. I think Simus is some sort of Afro-Latino, which makes Bella Goth half of that. So personally, in my personal opinion, I think Bella Goth is Afro-Latino and Greek. That's just it. That's how it looks. From her parents' name alone, that's what it looks like. All right, making Bella Goth a very multicultural sim, especially next to people like the Calientes, who are, of course, they're Hispanic, alien, and apparently Arabs. So she stands right next to them. And if you want to argue with me, look at the family trees. Don't look at me, okay? Don't freaking look at me. This is how they named them, and these are his parents. And it's canonical because they were in The Sims 3. So, don't even. Anyway, in conclusion, Bella Goth is Afro-Latino and, Greek. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. And that's all I wanted to figure out. Anyway, this is going off the rails. I just thought it would be fun for everyone to see how many Black Sims are in the base game of all of the Sims games. And, you know, see how far we came. Sims 3 was apparently the best representation the Sims has ever had for base game Black folk. And Sims 4 is hilariously up there with one of the worst. Haha. I just think that's funny. Honestly, also it makes sense with how bad the skin tones were in when the game released. I'm not surprised. Anyway, with that much said, thank you guys so much for watching. This was TBGP. If you have any problems with this video, I guess you could comment it. And if you have any other opinions, or if I've even missed the sim, go ahead. Tell me. I made this list at like 1 a.m. So and just added on to it as time went on. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, if this video gets 5 likes, I'll release, my reasons to play The Sims 3. Alright, anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is TBGP. I'll see you lot next time. And bye-bye.